What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to check out some awesome battles with a very strong kind of, I would say, meta team here for the Johto Cup. We have Ampharos, Skarmory, and Umbreon. What's great about this team is a lot of these Pokemon are very reusable in other formats, whether that's Open Great League or other specialty cups, right? Skarmory, Umbreon, complete meta strong Pokemon. Ampharos, the bit spicy one here, but it's so good in this cup because of the coverage that it has. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into this first battle, we have Ampharos versus Quagsire on the lead. Now, this is a lead loss, it is, but what we're going to do here is because Ampharos' ability to win and flip a lot of games with energy, we're going to be swapping on the potential charge move here, and we're going to no-shield it, and it was actually an acid spray, which is very nice for us. We're also going to be drawing out a Typhlosion here, which really helps out our Skarmory, which is hiding in the back. Now, with a Quagsire Typhlosion combo so far, you guys can already guess what could be here, right? I'm guessing it might just be a Magcargo, or if we're lucky, it's going to be a Skarmory mirror towards the end. But we do get ourselves a shield and chunk the health. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and let this go. I could potentially flip this matchup if I wanted to, going deep into shields because of how much damage Foul Play does. But I want to show, well, actually, I want to come in and have so much energy on Ampharos because it is so deadly with energy. With Focus Blast and Thunder Punch, it has incredible coverage on this meta. So we're going to go ahead and fully farm down, and that Quagsire is going to be coming back in to this matchup. So we're just going to go straight for Focus Blast right here. I want to get that final shield or completely destroy the Quagsire, which we landed. So we're going to go ahead and see them swap now into Magcargo. So this is going to be a tough situation. Magcargo again in the back with a shield can destroy my Skarmory. So what I'm going to do is try to get to one more Thunder Punch right here and throw this. Now, we're going to have to come in with Skarmory, and this is going to be incredibly close. So we're going to go ahead. Now that we got the shield, we're going to swap into Skarmory. And what I'm going to hope for right here is it's going to be a Rock Tomb. I'm hoping it's not Overheat, but I decided to shield anyways, and it was just a Rock Tomb. I should have trusted my gut there and no-shielded the charge move, but they're going to have to throw again, and this is going to be an Overheat right now. So boom! Down goes my Skarmory, but Ampharos now coming in because of the Overheat. We're going to be able to get to the Thunder Punch right here because of the energy. Remember, we've been soaking up so much energy here on Ampharos, and Quagsire is one fast move away as well, so that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, the key to this team is energy on Ampharos. So we're going to go ahead and face off against Magcargo now in this next one. So what we need to do is just throw these Thunder Punches. I could technically build up to a potential Focus Blast, but what I don't want to have happen is the debuff from Rock Tomb come in. So I'm going to go ahead and swap now into Umbreon and force the energy here from Magcargo. Again, keeping energy advantage there on my Ampharos, and they do decide to throw an Overheat, which is completely fine. Now Jumpluff comes out. So thinking in my head, right, Magcargo, now Jumpluff. This could be a double grass team in the back. The first game was double fire. This game now could potentially be double grass, which means Skarmory in the back is looking very good, especially with a Magcargo that is so low on HP. So we'll have to see how this plays out, but we're just going to keep going for foul plays right now. I'm hoping to be able to threaten a shield here at some point. And if they go for Energy Ball right now, I definitely will be able to. But they go for Acrobatics, which is going to take us out, which is completely fine. Skarmory can now come in and load up on energy without needing to give a shield. Yes, we will see that Magcargo come into the Skarmory, but we should have a Brave Bird or at least a Sky Attack ready to go to threaten a shield here. So they're going to go ahead and go for another Acrobatics there. That did quite a bit of damage, but we're going to be able to farm down, and we do get a Brave Bird. So we're going to see the Magcargo now come in. We're going to go ahead and go for that Brave Bird. It's going to be resisted, but you got to punish them and force them to shield because this will still do a ton of damage. So we do get a shield. We swap now into Ampharos, and we see them swap in a Quagsire. Again, 2-to-1 shield here, and we have a little bit of energy. I think we had one fast move head start. So we're going to go ahead and shield here. They're going to throw the Stone Edge, which is fine. And then we are just going to go for the double Focus Blast. Because I have two shields, I think I can just make it. So here comes the first Focus Blast. It does get shielded, so it would have been a good opportunity to go for Thunder Punch, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and shield this next charge move, obviously. Magcargo again has, I think, a little bit of energy, so it's going to be dangerously close. but I think I need to go for a Focus Blast right away. I think they're a bit too close to the Stone Edge, and I don't want to risk getting hit by it. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Focus Blast, get the Quagsire out of there. We're going to swap to Skarmory now to force the energy here from Magcargo, because if they let this go, if they let me throw a Sky Attack, it would be far too close. They're going to throw a Rock Tomb as well, which means I will be able to get to the Sky Attack in time, and they're going to farm me down now for 1 Incinerate, but their energy is gone from before, so this is going to be incredibly close as Ampharos is 2 fast moves away. So there's 1, there's 2, and we get the Thunder Punch at the last second. So again, Ampharos cleaning up this game nicely because of the ability it has with its energy and its charge moves on the meta. So good game, very well played right there. All right, moving to the next one, we got Ampharos versus Skarmory. So a lead win right here, very positive for us, and we will see them swap into Qwilfish. So again, very strong. I'm guessing there might be a second water in the back, whether that's a Azumarill, Lantern, or Quagsire. So we're going to go ahead and let this Aqua Tail go, and then we're going to go for the Thunder Punch here, force a shield from the opponent, and then we're going to go straight into Umbreon, as I want to save my Ampharos for the Skarmory. We're going to build up a little bit of energy, and now we're going to go into Umbreon right here, as I can Snarl down, and I can also let all of these charge moves go through because Umbreon is just so tanky. So Aqua Tail doesn't do too much. Again, we're just going to fully Snarl down. I don't care if they hit me with a Sludge Wave right here. That's perfectly fine with me. I think these are just Aqua Tails. Yeah, these are just going to be Aqua Tail spam, but I'm just going to go ahead and Snarl down as I want to tank all, or soak up all the energy. Now, they do decide to swap into a Azumarill, so it was, in fact, double water and triple Pokemon Weak to Ampharos, which is always very nice when you're running it. So we still have a great win con here for us. We have 2 shields on our side. We have Skarmory, which is going to have no counters on the opposing side, and we have an Ampharos, which can handle the whole team. So we're looking pretty good here. We're going to go ahead and let the charge move go through. It's play rough, so be it. Umbreon did its job. It's got the Qwilfish low. It chunked the Azumarill to half health, and we're going to go ahead and now swap into Skarmory. Again, Ampharos is our sweeper on this team, and Skarmory has no counter, so I'm not worried about switch locking myself because they're probably going to be coming in with their own Skarmory here at some point. So we're just going to go ahead and throw the Sky Attack now, get this Azumarill low. That way Volt Switches can clean this game up because remember, Qwilfish is extremely low. So we do land it, and they do decide to swap into the mirror, which is perfectly fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Sky Attack here. So here comes a charge move from them. I think this is just going to be a Sky Attack as well. Yeah, it wasn't a Brave Bird, just a Sky Attack, which is fine. We can survive that. We're going to go for our own. And then now we're going to go into Ampharos here. We have 2 shields. We have Volt Switch, so things are looking good. We have to wait for a Switch Clock, and it comes back up. So we're just going to go ahead, throw Thunder Punch right away. This should force the final shield here from the opponent. If they don't, they're going to go down to fast moves. So they do decide to shield, which is fine by me. And then I'm going to go ahead and overload a bit on energy, and I will give up a shield right here. Reason being is I want to have a charge move ready for Qwilfish because I'm not too sure how much energy it has. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Thunder Punch now that I have 2. And then I got to be careful what decides to come in. If it's a Azumarill, I don't throw a charge move. If it's Qwilfish, I throw the charge move. So I'm looking in the top right, and it is a Azumarill. So I'm going to go ahead and farm down, and then now I have Thunder Punch ready for Qwilfish, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. All right, moving to the next one, we got Ampharos versus Ampharos here on the lead. So this is a game of chicken as who's going to be landing the Focus Blast and who's not. So we're going to go ahead and build up to it and throw the Thunder Punch, but they decided to swap into Jumpluff, which actually is very favorable for us because we can throw the Thunder Punch here for neutral damage. We can reload up on energy, as I know Jumpluff is not going to be able to throw a charge move in time, and then we're going to come into Skarmory and farm down. The reason why we reloaded is so that when we face off against Ampharos, we have even energy if we have to throw a Focus Blast right there. Skarmory as well doesn't need to worry about any of the charge moves right here, so we can fully farm down and look to blast the Ampharos with Brave Birds if we can, or what I'm hoping for is a Sky Attack and then a Brave Bird. So they're going to go ahead and throw Aerial Aces right here, which is fine. It doesn't do too much damage. Excuse me. And we're just going to commit to the farm down. This is beautiful, and this is why Skarmory is so good in this meta, is because of those Grass-type Pokemon. Now they swap into Ampharos right here. Good swap by them to force my hand, but I'm going to no shield as I know I can survive the Thunder Punch. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Sky Attack right here. And what's interesting is I think a fast move went through, because you guys are going to see that my Skarmory actually goes down. So a fast move did sneak through, but I visually didn't see it, which is very unfortunate, but that's okay. I can come in with my own Ampharos now and go for a Thunder Punch right away, as this is going to do a decent amount of resisted damage right here. And I'm guessing they have a Meganium in the back, so I will be able to farm down. And if they do have a Meganium, I still have Umbreon with 2 shields, because Meganium is going to be forced to shield here from Focus Blast. So let's see what they decide to come in with, and it is in fact going to be a Meganium, which is perfectly fine. Focus Blast right here is either going to chunk the Meganium or get me shield advantage. Focus Blast lands, beautiful. I'm going to stay in with Ampharos now, throw the Thunder Punch here to force the shield, and this is a good game. Jumpluff is extremely low, Meganium's low. I have an Umbreon with 2 shields, which is why this team is just so nice. The Umbreon really melds this team together, because you can use it to soak so much damage. And the fighters that are out there in this meta still have to respect Last Resort or Foul Play, depending, right? If it's Pseudo-Ludo, you can still throw Foul Plays, but Umbreon right here is going to take it with Snarls, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Okay, moving into the next battle, we got Porygon on the lead here. So we got to be careful about Tri-Attack. It's very deadly. I'm just going to go ahead and throw Thunder Punches. I don't want the debuff from Tri-Attack to hit me before I can at least throw a Thunder Punch to threaten shields right there. So we're just going to go ahead, and I believe I let this first one go. Yeah, I let this first one go. It is going to be a Tri-Attack, and that definitely hurt. So we're going to go ahead and try to go for another one, but they do decide to throw a second Tri-Attack right away, which is fine by me. I will go ahead and shield. And then I'm going to load up on energy, and they do decide to swap into Magcargo, so I'm going to go ahead and come in with Umbreon. Now, I could have thrown a Focus Blast right there, right? But I was double debuff from Tri-Attack, and I did not want that energy to go away, because I think I will need it later on. So we're going to go ahead and just go for Foul Plays as best as we can. The Magcargo is on the field. My concern is that there might be a Lantern in the back. So we'll have to see if it's something more neutral, like maybe a Quagsire or an Azumarill. Things are still looking okay for us, but as long as I get this Magcargo off the field with these Foul Plays, we're looking pretty good. And again, Ampharos is loaded on energy, so we're likely going to be losing this mid-game matchup, but we can still pressure with Thunder Punch when they come back in. So the Overheat does land, takes us out. That was predicted. But we're going to go ahead and now come in with Ampharos. Again, Ampharos with energy, even if you lose mid-game, is so incredibly deadly. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Thunder Punch right away after 1 Volt Switch here, forcing the shield or get that Magcargo off the field. And they decided to shield, which was interesting. They wanted to get the debuff off on me with the Rock Tomb here. So we're just going to go ahead and shield it. And then we're going to load up on energy and then throw... Actually, do I fully farm down? No, they decide to swap. That's what they did. So they decide to swap. I throw the Thunder Punch right here. Remember, Ampharos here still has a lot of energy. We're going to swap into Skarmory to farm down as Magcargo is low. But Magcargo also has energy right here. And they are able to get to the charge move. This is likely going to be an Overheat. It is. Boom! Skarmory goes down, but Ampharos comes in, and ladies and gentlemen, Ampharos with energy is an absolute monster. There's a Politoed in the back, and because we held all of our energy here, we will be able to get off 2 Thunder Punches. There's 1, and here is 2. This is why Ampharos is absolutely insane, and it carried my games today. It did incredibly well with energy versus the Johto Cup meta. Good game to my opponent right there. All right, next game we got Ampharos versus Skarmory. Again, very nice lead for us. We will see that Umbreon come in as well, which is perfectly fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Thunder Punch here. This is to soften up the Umbreon, like we saw in a previous match. Soften it up and then come into the mirror right here. So at least I think it was in a previous matchup, or maybe I'm getting a bit confused, but that's okay. Either way, that's what I like to do here in this matchup, as we can come into the mirror fight and easily win switch advantage while also most likely being able to face off against Skarmory that's going to come back in and chunk a bit of its health right, with foul play. So we're just going to go ahead and just throw last resorts here. I also want to make sure I'm pretty loaded on energy when we come out of this. That's more important than having more HP, in my opinion, because the Skarmory is going to have to throw anyways. Even if I'm in the yellow, they're not really going to be able to farm down. So I'm going to go ahead and drastically overload. They throw the last resort here, which is fine. We don't need to shield. And we can just throw our own last resort. Now, thankfully, they didn't swap as well. I think this was a CMP tie, so thankfully they didn't swap. But we will likely see a swap right here. But they decided to shield, and now they decide to swap into Sudowoodo. So this is what I mean with Sudowoodo. You can still throw foul plays here, which is really nice. And then we're actually going to be coming in with the Skarmory here, as even though Sudowoodo is rock type and resisting the moves here, our win con is with Ampharos versus that Skarmory. Remember, still on the lead. So we're just going to basically soft lose this matchup here. We're going to go for a Sky Attack right away. Try to force that shield because this is still going to do a decent amount of resisted damage. And they decided no shield, which makes this game a lot more favorable for Ampharos to close out. Remember, 2-to-1 shield on my for me versus my opponent. They have Sudowoodo that's low, they have a Skarmory, and they have Umbreon that is relatively low. So we're just going to go ahead and come in with Ampharos and load up with energy. Again, Ampharos with energy can really sweep teams. So we're probably going to see the Umbreon come in right here, I would imagine. But they decided to bring in Skarmory, which is fine by me. I'm just going to go ahead and throw a Thunder Punch right here. We almost have a second one as well. And if they decide to swap into their Umbreon, I'm going to swap as well. Now it landed, so they decided to swap now into Umbreon. I'm going to go ahead and go into mine and go for last resort here, as this is going to be forcing that shield, and then Ampharos will be able to close this game out. So good game to my opponent. They decided to let it go, which is fine by me. Skarmory's, they're going to go ahead and surrender. So good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Lantern on the lead now. So I love seeing this on the lead, as we're going to be resisting the moves unless it was Water Gun. And again, we see another Umbreon come in, so we're going to go ahead and go for last resort. Now in this situation, I could technically go for Skarmory on the swap, but I'm actually going to decide to go into Umbreon. Reason being, I see Lantern on lead, I see Umbreon, I'm thinking they gotta have something for grass. So my guess is there's going to be actually a Skarmory in the back, and I'd rather have the mirror fight there, and kind of soften up the Lantern with Umbreon instead of getting farmed down by Skarmory. Does that make sense? So we're just going to go ahead and just keep going for last resorts here. We're in a very good situation where we basically can control this mid game. We have shield advantage, health advantage, energy advantage, and we're going to be having switch advantage as well, which is why this team is so punishing when you win the lead, and there's like a soft mid game here with Umbreon. So we do see them decide to swap back into Lantern, which is always great because they're going to switch lock themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the foul play here, and then I'll be coming in with Ampharos to get this Lantern out of there. That way, Skarmory has a lot more favorable endgame matchups. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't a counter in the back, right? There could still be something like a Macargo, but this definitely is a secured way to get the Lantern out of there. So we're just going to go ahead and build up to 2 Thunder Punches and throw them. We'll have to see what they decide to do. They're probably going to be shielding one of these. They let one go. So actually what I'm going to do now is just farm down. Again, what has been the basically the mantra of this video is Ampharos with energy. So we're going to play to that. They decide to now swap into Umbreon, keeping Lantern alive. That's very important. We need to be careful late game about that. But the foul play lands. We're going to go ahead and throw a Thunder Punch here, just to try to soften up the Umbreon as best as we can. And then we're going to go into Skarmory now to farm down because Lantern is so low. And if there is, in fact, a Macargo in the back, I need energy. They decided to surrender, so it was probably a Grass. All right, moving to the next one, we have Steelix on the lead. Good game to my last opponent, but we have Steelix on the lead, so I can't help myself, but I want to boom this thing. Steelix is a very strong Pokemon for this meta, but it is also extremely weak to Focus Blast. So we will go ahead and shield a Crunch right here. And this is going to be important. I need to build up to Focus Blast, which I have, and now I got to go for the Shield Bait. So if the Steelix decides to no-shield this, it's not looking good. As Steelix is part ground type, but we do get a shield, so this is beautiful. We're going to go ahead and double shield right now. Again, this is very dangerous because we need to land the Focus Blast. So we're just going to go ahead and go for it right away. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to Focus Blast the Steelix, and we boom! Boom! One shot it. Now we see a Jumpluff come in, so we're going to go ahead and go into Umbreon right here. A neutral matchup, saving Ampharos for the potential Skarmory in the back, for the potential Azumarill, for the potential Lantern. We don't know what's going to really be back there. And it's actually going to be a Quillfish that comes in. So this is perfectly fine. We now can align Skarmory to Jumpluff, and we can soften up the Quillfish here with Umbreon. So we don't even need shields really to win this game, because Sludge Wave, even though it does a great amount of damage, foul plays right here still hurt, and we built up enough energy to threaten with a potential Psychic. So let's see if they shield. They decided no shield it, that's fine, but it still did like 30% of the HP, so we're just going to go ahead and go for another foul play. And that is looking to be a good game. Very well played. They let it go, and then now we're going to swap into Skarmory into the Jumpluff, and they will surrender. So good game, very well played, but Grass-type Pokemon hit in the back. Skarmory eats him up left, right, and center. All right, moving to the final battle, we have a Sudowoodo on the lead, which is very interesting. Sudowoodo, counter Rock Slide, basically what you're looking out for here. So they're going to be throwing it right away, which is fine by me. And with this matchup, I really want to threaten with a potential Focus Blast, but I'm perfectly fine throwing Thunder Punches because it is neutral damage. And our Volt Switches as well are really adding up. So we're going to go ahead and throw the first one. We get a shield, which is perfect. We're going to go ahead and throw the second one here. They'll likely let this go. And if they do, I think I can farm down. So they do decide to let it go. So again, we will farm down. I will give up a shield right here. And I want that energy on Ampharos. As again, we have Umbreon, Skarmory in the back. So they are very bulky. And let's see what they have that decides to come in. It's going to be another Jumpluff. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Thunder Punch right here. In hindsight, I could just swap to Umbreon and save this energy, but we soften it up and now swap into Umbreon. We're going to see what they decide to come in with, and it's going to be an Gyarados. So you guys can already see that this is basically going to be a good game because we have a Skarmory, right? Skarmory can handle the Jumpluff and the Gyarados by itself. And Umbreon right here is just going to be softening it up. So that's going to be a good game. It's just going to be a bunch of lunges that come through right now for super effective damage. But even though it is super effective from an Gyarados, Umbreon can tank it pretty well. Now, each time lunge lands, our foul plays do less and less damage, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned right here, as I should be able to get to another one after this lunge, because it's not going to be enough damage. Now, Switch Clock is also coming back up, so the lunge is going to land. We're going to throw the foul play, and then we're actually going to swap into Ampharos here and throw the Thunder Punch that we have stored, as it will do neutral damage. Get the Gyarados out of there. And then the last Pokemon is going to be Jumpluff, and they're just going to go ahead and throw the Energy Ball, which is fine. We can come in with Skarmory, and that is going to be a wrap. Again, there's a lot of Grass-type Pokemon hidden in the back, and Skarmory just walls them, which is great. So good game to my opponent right there. But today's team was so much fun. Ampharos, Skarmory, and Umbreon, incredibly bulky, incredibly strong. So let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this team in these battles. The key is Ampharos with energy. That's the key. So, like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.